Okay, so what do you need to buy out here in GTA Online 2026, man? Let's go over a few things, and you guys can feel free to leave a comment or if you have any questions. Okay, so first off, man, we still have a lot of new players in this community, and if you guys are getting started, man, obviously you probably already seen the phone on here. Even if you're not a new player, you probably even wonder sometimes like what you need to use, or maybe you're trying to switch and do something different. I'm not sure, but Warstock Cash and Carry, Legendary Motorsport in here for cars. There's a lot of options. Now, things are expensive. That's the problem. And I tell you guys all the time, man, when you come in here, you just need to buy you one car, okay? Whether you like the Progden, Luiva, the Grotti GT750. I'm probably not saying that shit right, but oh well. The Vapid FMJ MKV. And these can have like a Monty Tech vehicle attachments with it, which means you can't have, or lock-on jammers, which means you can't have a oppressor try to take you out easily, but it can still free aim you after like 5 or 6 hits and take you out. Buy you 1 or 2 of these. A lot of people start going through here and, you know, click and buy, click and buy, click and buy. You don't need to do that. Get you like a couple cars, man, to get going, or maybe you just want to switch and do something different. You don't need to buy all this shit, man. Like, just get 1 or 2 at this point. You know what I mean? You're not going to use all of them anyways. Maybe you guys are into the car meets and stuff like that, so you might switch them, but you don't need to do that. But so that's what I would do as far as that if I was driving cars. Now, obviously, you guys already know what I'm going down to right here. At least I think. The Oppressor Mark II, the one and only, the infamous, the legend. The Oppressor Mark II right here, man, is $8 million each pop. Plus, you got to pay for customizations, missiles, tents, stuff like that. I don't know why the damn thing's so expensive. Probably because it's top tier. Nah. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people get blown up, but it can also be good for delivering your cargo, business supplies, shit like that. There's a lot of things in here that a lot of people buy. I would not buy any of this shit. Stay away from the cop cars and all that. There's a lot of people that love the F-160 Raju. I'm not a fan of it. I don't like the hover capability thing. I think it's super easy to get blown up. But at the same time, if you have a thermal helmet and stuff, it's really good to do. I mean, it's 6.8 million. It's cheaper than the Oppressor. So that's another option. I prefer the P996 laser, which is what I used to use all the time before it got tremendously nerfed by Rockstar. Appreciate that. But I would get something like that. Maybe if you're into jets. The laser is kind of pointless to use nowadays just because it's just like heavily nerfed. You can still get kills with it with the cannons, but it's very weird to use if you remember what it used to be like to use it. The Toroidor right here, one of the best vehicles, land vehicles, and can even go in water. One of the best vehicles to use, 4.2 million, plus you got to pay for customizations. What else we got in here, man, that you guys should buy out here? And honestly, this depends on how much money you got, depends on if you're broke in the game, depends on if you have any money, you've been grinding, you're trying to figure out what to spend it on. Obviously, if you're watching this, you're trying to figure out what to buy. And there's probably other people that recommend different things, a lot of different things. I would stay away from this. I know that Snake Kid, he likes to use this, and all his fanboys like using this stuff. This thing is super easy to get sniped off of. You can't lock onto it. You can lock onto it. If you shoot it, it actually won't. I don't think it'll lock on from the back side, actually. I think you have to do it from the front, or maybe it will. But it can't be hit from the back side, if I remember right. And you can obviously free aim missiles, but I've sniped so many people off these things, bro. It's stupid to use. I wouldn't recommend using it. What else? Let's scroll back down here. So the Toroidor, the Oppressor Mark II, the B11's really good if you guys are into planes and you're good at flying planes or jets. Really good, man. Can do the cluster missiles and stuff. 3.8 million, very good, plus customizations. You also need to get a hangar. If you guys don't have a hangar, get a hangar. I recommend getting the one at the airport. Those are a few other things you can buy. Like I said, man, I wouldn't sit here. The weaponized Ignis is also really good. Really good. It can be blown up in one hit. It get hit with a railgun or one RPG and it's done. One sticky bomb, it's done. But this turret up here is nasty. This thing will shred instantly. So if it hits somebody, it's cooked. I've had a lot of people ask me when I used to use it, like, hey, what car is that? What car is that? And that thing is super, super nasty. The scramjet. Okay, I know a lot of people use the scramjet. And I've actually wanted to try this out myself. I don't know why I've never really tried it out. But a lot of people use this. So if you're into vehicles with missiles, fast vehicles, boost, it's also another good one that I know a lot of people like using. So there's another one for you guys to get. I would stay away from any of the motorcycles and shit like that. Those things are just too easy to get blown up and sniped off of. I think the planes, the helicopters are really weak and easy to get knocked out of the air. The B11's pretty good. It can still get hit with a railgun. The Oppressor Mark II, obviously. The Akula can go stealth, which is nice about this thing. Can go stealth, so other players can't see it. I know the RCV is really strong, even though I don't use it. This right here, man, I wish Rockstar would have never nerfed it. It's crazy they nerfed it. I hate that. But yeah, the Vigilante, I wouldn't buy this. I see a lot of people using it. Super easy to get taken out of. Super easy to destroy. The Pyro's good if you like flying planes. Very quick. Now, if you like the Pyro, the LF-22 Starling is probably the top tier small plane to use. I mean, you can get the easiest kills with this. Dive bomb, all types of shit. Get crazy kills. It's kind of hard to control, but it's worth it. But this all depends, again, on how much money you actually have. If you are sitting comfortably with, 10, 20, 30, 40 million, somewhere in there, you could buy a lot of this stuff. And depending on your grind, whether you do heists, missions, whatever else, 3 times money, 2 times money events, you can buy a lot of this stuff. You don't need to sit here and click on every single thing. I don't recommend buying Deluxos just because I don't like Deluxos. But yeah, and then obviously the properties, man. I've always mentioned about doing the Eclipse Towers up on the hill, which should be, hold on, I just had it a second ago. Let me go back. Hold on. There it is. Eclipse Towers right there. It's 500,000. Put 10 cars in there. It's right in the main part of the city and stuff. So that's a good one to get if you guys are still looking for apartments and stuff like that. Obviously in Dynasty A Executive, this is where you get your offices, your agencies, and other missions through Franklin and things like that. So, it just kind of depends on what you want to do in the game. You know what I mean? Having a penthouse over here at the casino, properties is a whole different thing. And a lot of you guys already probably have the properties. I'm kind of just showing what's worth getting and what you honestly should buy if you don't have it already, which some of you guys probably already have this shit. So I used to use the Avenger. I don't really use it anymore. The Terabyte obviously is a must-have. The MOC is a must-have. Customizing weapons. You can do your custom weapon loadout in there, which is nice. And that's pretty much it, man. I mean, as far as that goes, I always tell people, man, you don't need to sit here and buy a crazy amount of shit, because at the end of the day, you're not going to use all of it. And we don't really have an insane amount of time left in GTA 5 Online. I still have 11 minutes on the fucking wheel. You kidding me? I'm about to go out here. I'm about to die or some shit. Hold on. What am I doing? We go out here. So that's kind of just up to you on that, man, on how you guys feel about that. But whether you like on-ground vehicles, being in the air, aerial vehicles, stuff like that, will depend on what you like doing. For killing, if you like PvP. Shit. Yeah, lay the fuck down. Who you shooting at? Almighty Surge 17. Sit that shit down. I personally like PvP, man. So if you guys want to copy this loadout, you can also buy all these weapons, which are good, man. Obviously, the homing launcher, EMP launcher, so you can disable tanks and vehicles and stuff like that. Also makes it easy to get kills. Special carbine rifle, combat MG Mark II, heavy revolver Mark II, sniper, shotgun. And there's a lot of different weapons that I'll switch around and use too, just for the fuck of it, just because it's fun to rotate weapons here and there. But it honestly depends on you guys. And that's another thing. You don't need to buy a whole bunch of weapons either, because usually you're not going to be using... What the fuck am I doing? There we go. I was trying to hit a fucking nice shot. Usually you're not going to be using every single thing that you buy. So take this how you take it, man. If you like it, you like it. Like I said, you can feel free to copy this. I even have a best weapons and attachments video that you guys can go check out if you want to. We've done best tips on PvP. We've done best vehicles to use, all types of shit, man. We've done properties, how to teleport, all types of stuff. So hit that like button, man, if you guys enjoyed this, man. Like I said, you guys probably already have a lot of the stuff that I mentioned, but new players particularly, or people that are just looking for something different, man, it's nice to just rotate here and there and find out different things that you may enjoy using. So we'll leave it at that. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications so you don't miss any videos or live streams, and you guys have a good one. Peace.